against my enemies, yeah. You see, you wanted to save you, and then learn how to raise you. But I forget you're from the wilderness.
Hello everyone, what is up? I'm Rob.
I'm Eamon.
This is Monster Fuzz. Eamon, today we're talking about something called the Blink Man.
It's the Blink Man. It's got lots of other names. The Peeping Tom,
right.
Tunnel Man,
Johnny the Nonce.
Ilchester the Molester is actually his name as well. Lots of stuff going on here.
Ratty and the Nonce.
Ratty and the Nonce, yeah.
That sounds good, Eamon. I'm interested. You compiled these very hungover, did you?
I don't remember a lot of this. I did this before I watched House of the Dragoon the other night, and I was just on the ropes, man.
I was actually surprised. I was surprised you got these done. I was going to actually say a deal like, sure, we'll just do an episode where we just talk about whatever.
If nothing,
and
I'm
then
a consummate professional. I'm not gonna, and I guarantee these are probably the best notes that have ever been done in any podcast.
Legendary notes.
I believe this one came from Tick as well.
Oh yeah.
I believe, and I'm apologising now if I'm getting confused on this, but this one came from the Discord.
Okay.
I had never heard of this before, but it's got real cool urban legend vibes to it. The only thing potentially is there's not as much meat on this as usual because there's not a lot to go on. I was looking for, and again, a very hungover state. I was like, in the chasm of my mind.
Oh yeah.
Dredging up the past was going, remember when you did this? Remember when you did that? Why are you such a dope? Like just having my brain was just at me. So even doing spooky notes when you're desperately hungover and feeling morbid and heebie-jeebies was not nice.
I'm at a point in my life where I'm bored of most things. Like when situations arise on a night out, I'm like, I've done this 1,000 times. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm just bored now.
I had a great time playing music. We were up in the house playing Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, playing all the grunge songs. It was really good fun. It was there's a lot of scenes missing from the night, but it was all wholesome. There was no fights. Everything was good. Everyone had a lovely love buzz with each other. Not from MDMA, but just actually from drinking. And yeah, it was just a really fun night. But you do borrow happiness from the next day, and if you borrow too much, then you're getting through it.
Yeah. No, I was grand.
I was actually thinking last night, and actually the patrons can maybe weigh in on this. But yeah, I was in the spiral, man. I was on Reddit just being like, fucking, what have I done? I really got into the spiral. And I started thinking, would it be a good idea to have a channel in the Patreon about when people are having bad headspaces, just to fire something in there and see
they're
if
a bunch of sad sack money fuckers anyway, so that's
yeah, so obviously, so maybe not then, no, but if someone's going through something, maybe someone else can help them out, you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
But I don't know how to do the admin.
I'll
change
do
my
that
profile
I'll do
picture.
that for you. I'll call the group sad sack money cunts.
Yeah, sad sack money cunts, and people can just be like,
people can go on there and whinge.
I'm so nervous. But yeah, I would have been in there yesterday. I would have been in there looking for anything.
I played my life on a hangover, went down by, did the washing up, cleaned the fucking kitchen, did all that, ate everything.
I did all that shit as well, but I had a
load of paracetamol,
a cloak, a cowl and cloak. I was like Batman of depression and misery. But I was fine. It was just my own inner turmoil.
You just need to acknowledge, before you go to bed, you're going to go, right, I'm going to wake up unsettled in the middle of the night, like Pazuzu was trying to take me over, so I'm going to take 2 paracetamol right now just for as a precaution. Then you wake up in the morning, you go, oh hello, paracetamol. Then I had middle of the day, paracetamol. I need paracetamol. A lot of electrolytes. I was on Nasogenia and I had all the stuff.
I had
Solpadeine, I don't need them. Paracetamol.
Downers.
I had codeine. Yeah, I had codeine. I don't need it.
Oh, what downers?
Codeine's a downer, son.
Yeah, but you have to stay up till 4 in the morning, black out 3 times. You have to there's levels to this.
I was drinking all night, son. I was there the same.
I'd say if we looked at it, you'd be ghastly appalled at what I had drank.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I knocked off the majority of a bottle of whiskey and then had loads of pints out and then was drinking before I went out.
Oh, you're just a disgraceful person, though.
It was like there's a load of lads at the coal engines, but I was the chain and the only fuel was alcohol, and I had to get to the stop. And we did miss a few stops. We just went straight by a couple of stops.
I hear you. Just a quick reminder to everyone as well. Hope you're having a good day. All that, I forgot to say that. And as well, if you want to head on over to Patreon, do that. There's always a little extra bit of stuff over there. You get your ad-free episodes, access to the Discord where you can go onto the Sad Sack Money Cunts channel. And
I feel bad.
you get your ad-free stuff and all that jazz, which I fucking...
It'll just be me crying out for help.
No, I need to actually, and as well, I'll soft announce. I think we mentioned it before I went to Japan, but you can support the podcast now on Apple Podcasts exclusively. That there is that service there now, and I think it's a flat rate of $3.50 per month. There is no other tiers, and what you get over on that is just the ad-free episodes and the exclusive episode once per month. It's just a straight kind of basic tier. The reason it is because Apple Podcasts, you can't actually do a lot of the stuff. It doesn't support all the stuff that Patreon has.
Oh, okay.
So basically, yeah, it's just a handy way if people, I know like some people get like Apple gift cards and things like that. I think you can use all that shit to subscribe.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So it's there, it's available. I will say at the minute it's still in its infancy, so there is teasing things because it's kind of podcast technical jargon, but basically I have to upload the ad-free episodes when the episode comes out, and the reason I have to do that is because I publish through Spreaker, whatever, who cares. Anyway, it's kind of still iffy at the minute when I'm sorting it out, but the facility is there if you want to go and check it out, and we do appreciate all of it. You can pay yearly over on Patreon if you want to do that. You do get more on Patreon, but Apple is there, because people were asking, which should I join? Should I join Apple? Should I join Patreon? Patreon is always the better option, but yeah, Apple's grand too. Eamon, if they have any cryptid encounters, maybe they went out all night and got hungover.
Tell us about the last time you got so drunk that spirits entered your body and forced you to do silly things. For me, it was a Tuesday. Yeah. No, what I am curious, if anyone knows the tunnel where this takes place, I'm trying to get the name of it up here now.
Ellicott City.
It'll be here.
Ellicott City, not Ellicott City. So
Ilchester Tunnel.
Right.
But yeah, if anyone knows about this urban legend, I'd be curious to get some stories. It seems like, and you will get into it in the episodes, it seems almost impossible to do the thing they want you to do to see the ghoul. Like it's I don't think I'd be able to do it, like just physically. But anyway, if you do have any stories or any other spooky stories, monsterfuzzpodcast@gmail.com, send them in and we will read them out on a mini fuzz.
So yeah, we have another urban legend today, kind of sort of is it a modern legend or has it got a bit of old folklore?
No, this has some good history in it actually, and even in spite of my reckless carry on Sunday night, I do have some history in here. Most of this has been taken from patch.com, so shout out there. There's not a lot about this, it's quite hard, but interestingly there was a movie which I haven't seen called Butterfly Kisses, which is made about this, so we give that a little bit of a shout at the end. It's a weird, it is a creepy story, and it is, I would imagine that a lot of towns have stuff like this, but yeah, it's the heebie-jeebies.
Do you want to give us a little bit of an intro
I
here?
will, of course. So, the legend of Peeping Tom. I didn't want to call the episode Peeping Tom because it has connotations, and also a band I like are called Peeping Tom.
That's true.
They released one album, so
Mike Patton.
Shouts out Mike Patton, yeah, and Butterscotch Beatbox, who was on America's Got Talent. She's the one who does the human beatboxing, stuff like that. The legend of Peeping Tom, known generally as Blinkman or the Tunnel Man, and even Ilchester the Molester.
What a man.
Wow. It has its roots in the Great Depression and has inspired the nightmares of thousands of Ellicott City children.
Ellicott City, I said the same.
Ellicott, sorry,
I said the same thing.
Yeah, is it sometimes when it's
see not the two L's, you see the two T's,
and your mind just, it's like that thing Genius, and it has the 7 and all the rest of it. You can read the whole thing.
I have a theory about your mispronunciations.
I
have a theory.
My mind tries to make things up as it goes along. My mind is
a theory.
A chatbot.
I know someone who was on the same drug as you.
I'm not on that drug.
No, but you were for the bulk of this podcast.
For the bulk of my life.
Yeah, and they also do that thing, the word thing.
Yeah, it could be.
So there's some...
It could be that I know.
It's like a little railroad track switcher. There's like it's like switching the track as it's
there's no, what is it they say? There's no such thing as a free lunch. So, if you get something, you're giving up something else. Now, funnily enough, it's been, Jesus Christ, I think it's been 8 months off them. I think the first month was not even bad, but like, because I was on a very low amount anyway. So anyone who's on Lexapro, I've talked about it before. I've been on that. Yeah, thanks Lexapro. You stopped me from fucking taking drastic measures. but yeah. So anyone like who's been on it, I was on a very low amount, but I was able to, like, I was still doing all the other stuff I was doing, if that makes sense. So, like, I didn't not drink because I was on Lexapro. I probably should have. You probably should just not drink if you're not feeling great anyway. But for me, it was more so anxiety. So I didn't really have the depression side of it. It was just overthinking, and which I still have. I just don't care about the heebie-jeebie thoughts anymore, you know? But yes, but it's what I was getting to is, when I first got on that, when I'd be at work, I noticed I was getting way more spell checks when I was typing stuff, and that hasn't gone away, even 8 months off it. So you have to be kind of careful.
So there you go. Salt Lexapro makes your brain fucking stupid.
It makes your brain stupid enough to not be miserable anymore. So it dumbs it down like a fucking lobotomy. So you're like a golden retriever going around the place.
It's a good way to be.
You know, woof woof, bitch.
Back to Ellicott City.
Ellicott City. Take me down to Ellicott City. Take Lexapro when I don't feel shitty. It's a story that's been curiously overlooked by writers on the subject of Maryland folklore, but one that seems to be making a comeback in the aftermath of the flooding of Main Street in July of 2016.
Main Street in Wexford flooded before.
Main Street in Wexford has flooded before. Me and your cousin ran out onto the arm of the marina during a storm and got destroyed in waves.
That same day, I was trying to repel the waves while working in Tesco's on the quay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Tesco's?
Working.
But what were you?
Contract cleaner.
Contract cleaner, that's right. That was the crazy prices.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was thinking of Quinnsworth. Yeah.
No, I was down there.
Old school.
Trying to repel the waves.
You were like, you
16,
shall not pass.
16 years
What
old.
were you doing? Just firing up bags and
and just also trying to like push it all back out. But I was like,
with like a you're fighting a losing battle.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Water always wins.
So we're getting onto the legend here. According to playground historians, if a person stands at the far side of the trestle spanning at the Patapsco River, that's a tongue twister, at exactly midnight, and if he or she possesses the strength or will to stare into Ilchester Tunnel without blinking their eyes for one uninterrupted hour.
That's what I was saying. That's not possible.
No, I don't think so. Unless you do like the fucking Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Start showing on weird fucking shit. What'd drive you mad if you were on Clockwork Orange and you're looking into something?
Just, I think looking at what I'm looking at right now would probably drive me. Looking at your fucking big blinkers there, just going, what would drive you, man? That would drive me fucking off the edge. Literally, I'm gonna have nightmares about this. It's hard. Look into the camera and just say like, what would drive you, man?
What would I do?
Like,
what would drive you mad?
Awful. The worst of the worst. I think, what would they do? What would they show me that would drive me mad? I'm not a fan of, I think just normal stuff.
Yeah, TikTok, probably a lot of TikTok videos.
Just a lot of people dancing.
Just pull on TikTok for an hour.
Have you, like, because obviously you don't go out with a woman from Brazil, have you heard this Amore Bang 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 song?
No.
It's going through Latin America.
I don't pay attention to anything anymore, Eamon, and I'm enjoying it.
I try not to.
I'm getting to boomer age, like, we're talking about it in the Discord.
Just when I thought I was out, my wife dragged me back in. There's a thing, right? So the song is like, it's a little Brazilian dance, like, and I don't know the words, but it's like, loosely goes, Hey, amor, bang, bang, amore, balada, bang, bang, bang. And they like do, it's like the Hardy Boys.
That's just
Brain Dead's garbage. But there's a video of a Peruvian woman doing it, and it looks really funny, and that's taking the world by score. And she's now on television in Peru because she basically went bang, bang, bang.
Right. Terrible.
So that would probably drive me. This is life, yeah. This is how far we've come. How near, how far.
It's terrible, yeah. It's weird because it's gone full circle.
But even that fucking, like, the Hawk to a girl. Like, literally, a girl was like, sometimes you have to spit on a dick. Like, and now, like, everyone, she's up there singing with, I don't know, Coldplay or something. She was up doing some sort of songs with some famous lad. And all she goes was,
she'd improve Coldplay, to be fair.
Lads like it. I don't like Coldplay, but they do have some, like, objectively good songs.
You're just saying that because Chris Martin's a bit ginger. You're trying to cover him.
Yeah.
You're trying to.
Him and Ed Sheeran are probably the two greatest music. And Simply Red.
Well, Simply Red.
Simply Red.
Mick Hucknall's class, like.
Mick Hucknall.
But Mucknall. No. Yeah, Coldplay are grand, like.
I know. No, but I mean, like, they have some melodic, nice little bits. I wouldn't like them. Couldn't listen to them.
I need to stop shitting on bands on the podcast, though, I feel like, because I was listening back to me shitting on Portal Green Day and Fall Out Boy, and I was like, you know, comes across a bit music snobby, you know. They are shite. Like, but
we're buying like vintage. We're renting deluxe vinyl video game soundtracks. It turns out like we'll get to heaven and God will be like, it turns out you were the morons all along.
Oh well, odds are, yeah.
He's like, all the people who get into heaven like Chris Martin and Coldplay, like the majority of the population.
I had a, you know, like, so basically, do you know how we're setting up our houses to be like
stupid
museums for our
autism like sort of spaces,
acoustic setups, yeah. So I had like a moment that like it all paid off the other night. So like one of Kira's friends was staying over and she was going through all the records and she was asking me about each one and I was like bang 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 bang.
This
is what it's for, man. This is what I've done.
That's
this for.
True, yeah.
Do you know? But the funny thing is I hate people in my house and I hate dealing with people. I love you in my house, of course.
But I know you like, but when you talk about something that you're interested in, you and my ma talking about vitamins.
Class.
Like,
that's why she's coming on
when the two of you start talking about vitamins, I'm like, I'm leaving for a while. Trying to get down selenium now, some class.
But ashwagandha, son.
But no, I do get it. But I do think that there's something wrong with this. Like when I was 22, my granddad died and I didn't cry, right? Mm-hmm. When I put on The Legend of Ashitaki on the fucking record player by Joe Hishashi the other day, I shed a tear when all the cello came in. I was like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, you're actually right. Like, you know? I was, You
were saying at the end of Final Fantasy 7, you were crying. Like,
balling.
I'd get stuff like that. Like, I look at something dumb. And the worst part of it was, worst.
Think about me dog, I'll cry.
I was, I was
anything about Leia,
telling Paula about a book I read where a cat, it's all written from the point of view of the cat, and the cat's owner gets like a terminal illness and he lives with 4 other people, and it's just about the story, their sort of story through the cat's eyes, and they all have this moment with the cat, and then at the end of it the owner dies, and the last line of it is something like, the cat says something to the effect of, I know that we'll see each other again on the plane where all life can exist, something like, it's much better. But like, I was telling Paula about that, and my voice cracked, and I was like, "Are you serious? Like what?" So now, to be fair, I've been drinking heavily the last few days, but it's
we're vulnerable today.
But like that is those two things I've described: crying at a soundtrack of an animated movie from the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. Crying about a Japanese book about a cat, right? That's like, I'm on the spectrum.
Acoustic.
I am. I'm acoustic. I'm Eamon O'Neill unplugged. You know?
That is grand though, it's fine.
It is worrying that we both have very similar.
There's no Monsterfuls without acoustic.
There's no Monsterfuls,
That's what it
presenters
takes,
or the listeners.
But that's what you see, because for everyone that isn't like that, there's people that can,
there's
like
Coldplay.
There's like in Magic the Gathering, to get even worse. There's things called planeswalkers. You know, we're like the planeswalkers, and we're able to go through and connect. So there's people that listen to us. It's like when you go to the zoo and you look at animals, you're like, oh yeah, look at this exotic weird thing that is not like me. That's probably us. You know, it's like,
but I feel like a lot of the people that we've met from the podcast, you're kind of like, oh, you're a lot like us. Like
some, but then others are like, these lads are
some are like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, and then like it's like Blind Boy, who's diagnosed autistic. Like he is what you would call, I suppose, a great spokesman for that kind of thing. Because like, I think that when I listen to him, I'm like, his mind like is obviously neurodivergent, but in a really what would be the right word? Really interesting way, in a way that can
really relatable way too.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, and then he's very good at articulating the whole thing.
Then a sweet spot on the spectrum. It's
probably
like getting the clutch.
Probably Blind Boy's around it, I'd say. No, I don't know whether he'd agree with that, but that's probably from an outside perspective. You'd probably be going, well, yeah, to be really successful and to really be able to relate to people while also being neurodivergent is probably as close as you can get to being sort of at that point, right? Because a lot of people, I think that's where a lot of people struggle when they're neurodivergent, is that they can't relate to people, right?
Yeah.
Or people can't relate to them, and vice versa.
And again, because you're on this bit of a spectrum, it's like, it's hard to articulate yourself. Like for me, what I've always found, or what I find now at least, I was about to say my current relationship with my wife, who I'll be married to forever, there's like she's very different to me. Now she does have acoustic tendencies herself in ways, right? But they're different to mine.
Yeah.
So like but we
Well, they do say
compliment each other.
neurodivergent people all hang around together, like.
But she seems really normal.
Well, then
compared
maybe
to
then
me.
she's just normal then. And then that's why you're thinking.
I don't know. It's hard to know. Like, she's just not into garbage like I am. But she would also, if you, I think like if you said, here's a cat and here's a human and one of them have to die, she'd just be like the human.
Yeah, there's something wrong with her then.
Yeah, it's really wrong because you have to be team people.
Yeah.
You know? But she's very rational and logical.
But that's not rational, logical though.
This is it.
That's what I'm saying.
Neither is crying when you hear Princess Man and Orko when you're trying to listen.
It's actually probably more removed to be like that because like we've evolved to be like.
No, I don't think she's ever been in the situation where she has to.
You don't watch out if she's got a pet, like.
Because she's like, if I kill my husband, it can feast on his carcass.
You don't watch out. But no, I think, I think that that's possible. I think if I went in for an old mental NCT/MOT, I think I'd come out with anything. I'd be
I think they'd
fair
come
enough.
out with me and they'd be like, give me the sheet where it's like, you need to fix this. You're not aligned at all. You need to do this. You need to do that.
For me, if like if they said like generalized anxiety, I'd be like probably. If they said bipolar, I'd say maybe. If they said autism, I'd be like probably. If they said ADHD, I'm like definitely.
Yeah. Do you notice that?
All of it, yeah. Give me all of it.
What I've noticed that I don't know about people who are like, I feel good all the time. Like, what the fuck even is that? What are you talking about? If I get a day where I feel excited and happy, they're like very rare. Not in that I'm not miserable otherwise. I'm just chill. I'm just whatever. Yeah. But like, I very rarely get days where like I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, same.
Like I'm just grand all the time, and I'm much happier with my life being like that than going like that.
Sometimes sometimes I get really like, I wouldn't say high, but I can get really productive and like I want to take on a lot of things at once. That sometimes I'm wondering about that, and I'm like, I don't know. But
you might have, what is it? And there might be parts of that that's just normal as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even
like,
with depression, they won't diagnose you with depression if you're not depressed for more than 2 weeks straight. So as a certain amount of these
36 years.
They're like, but there is a certain amount of this that's within a kind of an acceptable.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because like you can't medicalize out emotions completely because we need, like, we have to. We're humans. You're supposed to, like, if you're sitting around smoking fags, drinking beer, doing nothing all day, every day, and you're like, I feel sad. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to. That's your body telling you to fucking fix something.
Well, the crack is, and we're 27 minutes into. Well, we're about 20 minutes in.
All right, there's only about 6 pages.
We've
done on this.
We've just about got through the intro, so that'll show you what is wrong with our brains. Do you know? So that like that's
the one. That's evident. You think we'd be more zoned in if we were autistic? What autistic? Autistic is a more positive name for it, though.
And the funny part is you probably didn't even mean to say autistic.
No, I was thinking about it, and I thought it was like, as everyone going to accuse me of being prejudiced again.
That ship has sailed.
Who cares?
That ship has
Shut
sailed.
up.
Damon, you know.
I'm an
You're
autistic man. You can't hold me to these things.
You're the poster five on these far right riots at the minute.
Oh yeah. That's me. We've talked about it in the mini. Like I'm disgusted by what's going on in the world. I just feel like the world's gone to shit.
It's our time to shine now, you know.
Everything's just gone to shit. I'm going to go out.
We're getting a lot of National Front listeners now.
Well, no, but we probably will, like, if anyone,
like that,
because you can't, because I'm kind of going, I can understand
brother.
If I was a man that needed a better start, I would emigrate somewhere. If I was a refugee, I would go to a place where blah, blah, blah. No. And then you're going, I also understand that if I lived in a small village, I mightn't be super keen on that. And then you're going, but I don't think we should be burning things and baiting lads. And then, I don't know. I think the whole thing is fucked.
Good news is we're onto the legend. According to Playground Historians, if a person stands at the far right of the... I read this part already. Did I? No. Yeah, you can't blink.
Don't blink. Don't you fucking blink.
You're not allowed to blink for an hour, basically.
Yeah.
And every time you blink after he first appears to you, his ghost will get closer and closer until his eyelashes brush against your skin.
That's where the butterfly kiss moniker of the movie comes.
That's why I can't wear eye masks. My eyelashes going off the eye mask drives me fucking mad. You know the man's for sleeping? If my eyelashes kind of flutter. I've got very nice eyelashes when I do, like a cow. And
I think you're punching there, buddy.
And it bugs me. That flappy shit.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Do you ever have that? Do you ever wear them?
I don't wear an eye mask.
You ever try them?
I'm
like
a heterosexual man.
No, I'm not talking about like a beauty product.
I'm joking. No, I never wore them, but I do. There's some of them that are meant to be quite nice. I'm like they're just cooling, but I don't wear them. I don't wear them. I sleep on the floor covered in mud in a pair of army pants.
Modini Otter, yeah. The constant flickering of his eyelashes on your skin, those constant butterfly kisses, are said to send you into madness, which will drive you to rip out your own eyes in a fit of blind rage.
It's not nice. Like, it's not nice.
Do you ever have anyone lick your eyeball? I have.
I think I might actually. Yeah, I don't think I enjoyed it.
Some man thought they were wise and they'd lick my eyeball.
Could you suck someone's eye out of their head?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Class.
that's like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
I think that like if you ever went berserker. Yeah, if you ever went pure berserk, like you were in a fight for your life and you just went Valhalla, like.
Yeah, it's actually, when I think of like unbridled aggression and hate, I think of someone grabbing the back of someone's head and just squeezing her. But it's actually more weird if you like get down in front of them and like, and then suck their eyeball out.
Yeah, sucking an eyeball out is that's worse. Serious, man.
Doing both of them, just do.
So one eye you just pop it in, the other one you suck the eyeball out. Yeah, it's it's a bad way to go blind.
How does an eyeball taste, do you reckon?
Not great, I'd imagine.
No.
And not a raw eyeball.
Did you ever do an eyeball, Paul? When you drink vodka through your eye?
No, yous are all that. No, you weren't doing it, actually.
I did do it, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do it that day. Even...
I did a couple, over a couple of days. Like, it wasn't just a one-off.
But, like, there's no point. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you're pouring, like, high-proof alcohol into your eye. You're like, I think it gets you more fucked up. It's like, no, you just poured vodka into your eye. Of course you feel weird, you maniac.
I say my eyes are going to be fairly fucked up by the time I get to 60. I think glaucoma's on the agenda.
Yeah,
trying all them eyeball pals.
Deep river blindness.
Yeah.
That was weird. I do remember that night and you were all doing it and I was just like, this is stupid. This is just stupid. And I was like, I'll just have a shot in my mouth, please. In and around my mouth.
One of the many stupid things that we've done.
We had the crack.
Yeah.
Anyway, the history of this blinky man. We're doing him dirty today.
We are.
According to Jacob Boehme, a 16th century alchemist, Peeping Tom and his otherworldly brethren are Flimmergeist. I hadn't heard of these guys before. Flimmergeist, or more commonly known as the vernacular is Flickergeists.
Okay.
I tried to find stuff about this and it just kept giving me links to Flickr. And I kept trying to change
Flickr,
things.
Yeah.
Well, it's still there apparently, yeah.
Fuck.
And when you search for Flickergeist, it comes in.
Our photographers put shit up on that, right?
Yeah.
Flickr. Cack.
So apparently what a Flickergeist is it's a shadowy being that lives on the periphery of vision, which is kind of cool. And I kind of feel like I've seen them before.
Oh.
You know, like when you see like something out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
Flickergeist.
Interdimensional child molesters.
Interdimensional child molesters. Joe Rogan, I'm going to tell you what's actually going on now. They're turning the frogs gay and there's interdimensional child molesters. I'm like, who cares if the frogs are gay? Frogs, I think we need to put an F, LGBTQIAF+. And I think that's... Because, like, why would you care about the frogs being gay?
Yeah. I mean, I think what he was implying with the frogs being gay, now I don't know, but is that something to do with drug in the water?
It makes a lot more sense. I think what he should have said is
fish
they're going to sterilize us all.
Now as a result.
What?
The fish in the Thames are
they're trans.
It's not that they're trans, but they're like the hormones in the water are changing their sex.
I get you.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what's happening with us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'd say.
Do you know, like with just all the microplastics and everything, and it's just everyone's like, "What the fuck even am I?"
Yeah,
and then you're like, "Suppose."
Oh no, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like there's huge links between man-made fibers and infertility, and we're like surrounded by man-made fibers.
The length of the taint is shrinking as well, apparently, which has something to do with prostate and sperm production. Like, just leave my taint alone. It's always been the same. Don't go near me taint. Leave my taint alone. And that goes for microplastics,
flicking your taint,
and other people. Don't do it. It's the no man's land of my body. It has been theorized that Ilchester Tunnel serves as a sort of interdimensional focal point, and that by completing the staring contest, the Flickergeist is drawn out of the shadows and trapped within the beholder's field of vision. That is scary. Like, I can see how that horror movie probably works, but I haven't watched it. And I will not watch it for a while because I Just I don't feel like watching
I
something
haven't watched an
spooky.
old horror film in a long time, I'll be honest with you.
I'd watch horror films relatively.
Yeah, I used
regularly.
I'm a horror movie fan, but I just haven't been watching them.
You don't watch much films now, though, do you? Yeah,
too
I'd
adult.
watch a good bit of film. That's me and my wife would watch a good bit of movies together. But she's not. She'll get the heebie-jeebies from horror movies. She won't be able to sleep, even with this delicious, strong man beside her in bed.
Do
And
you have any weapons in your house to protect yourself?
Me, I am the weapon.
Alright.
I'm Weapon X.
You don't know weapon?
The 10th weapon.
I sometimes forget that I have an axe behind my bed, and like sometimes I kind of half leave it out, and I'm like, if anyone comes into this room and just sees like a fucking lunatic's axe,
Start wondering,
which
yeah.
they have done,
Because you have,
I'm
it's
like-
like the wooden part of the axe, right? You
Oh,
don't
no,
actually
no,
have
no,
the
no,
blade.
an
on it.
actual
You have
axe.
the blade as well.
oh yeah, no, that's in a different room now. The handle that you're talking about, that's a pickaxe handle.
Right.
That's a family heirloom.
So that's just, is that to clock someone on the top of the noggin with, or?
Yeah, that's if you don't want to use an axe.
Yeah, which,
Depends
I mean,
on
arguably.
degrees of severity.
Now, if someone comes into your house, I think, the axes are flying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm asking you. Do you have a weapon? No.
I am the weapon.
Oh, okay. Well,
I am
best
the
of luck with
weapon.
that then.
Yeah. Wait till you see the amount of men that I suck the eyeballs out of when they try to get into my house.
Oh yeah. That's how you
It
do
would
it.
be like going into a house of an eyeball sucker would be scary. You think that I'm locked in here? You're locked in here with me.
What was that from? That was
Watchmen.
Yeah, yeah, very good. 10 out of 10. Go on now.
However, as with all supernatural challenges, this one comes with a hefty price. For once you've seen Peeping Tom or the Blink Man, he cannot be unseen. He appears at a distance approximate to the tunnel's far end, and every time the viewer blinks, Peeping Tom is still there, but one step closer.
And I'm about to break.
Dun, 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 dun. Shut up when you're talking to me. What? Shut up when I'm talking to you, because the other way wouldn't work. This continues until he's literally nose to nose with his prey and uses his long eyelashes to tickle his victim, forcing him or her to blink, and that's when Peeping Tom strikes. If one listens to the local lore, many a foolhardy adventurer has performed the superhuman task of keeping their eyes open long enough to conjure Peeping Tom. Like, what's the point? But none are able to then keep their eyes open long enough to survive an attack. Victims are typically found dead from heart failure, literally scared to death.
In the vacuum of new metal, is Hybrid Theory a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, right?
So Hybrid Theory is actually class. Like.
It's a really good album.
Yeah,
I remember when I bought it, I was like 12, 11. And then I was like, this album is like, I can listen to the start to finish class.
My sister bought it in Canada and brought it. We bought Papa Roach and Linkin Park in Canada before they'd gotten really
You got
popular
Papa
over
Roach,
here.
did you?
I can't
sense.
remember. Yeah, probably.
And
I thought I was
would have better taste
when
than
I
you.
see her eyes and I realize. No,
Anna would have
that's
better
Papa
taste
Roach's
than you.
second album. Papa
She does,
Roach's first
actually.
album is fucking brilliant.
Because Anna likes Nine Inch Nails and you don't really, so that's why I always preferred Anna over
I'm
you.
a big industrial crybaby. Ooh. No, I do like them. I just don't care much about them.
10 out of 10 album anyway.
Papa Roach and Linkin Park, both of those albums are class. Papa Roach, that is a class album.
Good tune.
Blood Brothers, come on. Infest,
I'm all about Crazy Town.
Broken Home.
R.I.P. Shifty Shell
Yeah,
Shock.
Shifty's gone. Another man lost to the dangerous drugs.
That's just the way it is, you
That's
know.
the way the
when you're
music
Shifty
goes.
Shell Shock. Poor chap, you know.
But yeah, I do agree. Hybrid Theory is probably going to be it might be in my top 10 of albums. I haven't
Do you
listened
know what
to
else
it
is
in
a,
years.
sorry listeners, I'm just sorry, but
Listen, lads, we're doing
just
what we
two
want.
friends.
It's
I just
our
apologize.
podcast. Do what
I
you
just
want.
want to apologize now. Do you know what other album's a 10 out of 10? Really good album. Solid, start to finish, every track. Really good. Jeff Buckley's Grace.
Oh yeah, that's
fucking
yeah.
album.
But there's no shame in saying that. There's a certain amount of shame in saying Linkin Park's
There's a
Hybrid
bit like
Theory is a 10 out of 10.
No,
but not
because I
Grace.
feel like Grace, like I think if Jeff Buckley had have endured, I think he is the case of probably someone dying as the greatest what if probably in music. One of them, I think, is him dying. But I think if he had stayed around
Never got to
long,
realize his potential.
I think if he got to stay around long term, he could have turned into a bit of a soy boy kind of. Like,
Oh yeah,
because
it's hard to think because even what he was doing then
Was soy
was
boy.
very unique as well. Like
oh, he's brilliant, brilliant
like-
singer, brilliant guitarist,
Yeah.
brilliant frontman,
everything
songwriter.
was just beautiful.
He had the full package.
Yeah.
Had the full fucking package. He was that good that Jesus said, Jeff, It's time to come up into my embrace.
I mean, my watery grave. I couldn't do it because I was laughing. Join me.
Let me suck your eyeballs.
I can't do it. Join me in my watery grave.
You want to suck poor old Jeff's eyeballs?
I don't know. Poor old Jeff drowned.
Yeah, he did, yeah, and you're being disrespectful.
Should have come over.
Some singer by.
He was an amazing singer.
Yeah.
I did, with your cousin, I played So Real one night, and I did not hit the highest part of the high note.
Sure,
what was the point, like?
Fake it till you make it.
And then I just went, join me.
You just started singing.
I just went, join, yeah. Doon, 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 doon.
Yeah, anyway, look, we're going to the Ilchester Tunnel. Peeping Tom is I sometimes feel like we're just better off just editing all
I sometimes feel like we should just not have a subject and just start doing stuff.
Just edit all of that out and then just be like, this is the DLC. It's like, if you want to go on the Patreon, there's like 40
It'd be such a weird thing though. Like,
versions.
imagine listening to like a real like straight, and then the Peeping Tom, and he's a blah, and then you go over here and you're just like Jeff Buckley and you're join me. Like, it's no, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, listeners.
I just feel sorry for the poor people that find us and that they don't know us, like, do you know?
Yeah, but we are much like Jeff Buckley. We are deep water, and like, you're either into this or you're not.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm into it a lot of the time, to be honest with you. If I listen to this somewhere, I'd probably be like, that's fucking garbage.
Yeah, I know, man. Look. So anyway, Peeping Tom has re-entered the conversation following the destruction of Main Street. Mostly due to the eerie parallels that initiated the construction of Ilchester Tunnel in 1903, putting the ill in Ilchester, one might say.
It was Chester County and it was expanding faster than it.
Yeah, the old mainline subdivision is one of the oldest in the United States, would you believe, and was once the chief throughway for the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. Shouts out Redbird in Ohio, if you're listening. The initial route followed the Patapsco River Valley west out of Baltimore, with the first section opening for service in 1830. Engineers built the line around the large hill fronting the river and nearby Ilchester Station, allowing freights to travel via the Patterson Viaduct past the prestigious St. Mary's College. There you go. For safety reasons, the tunnel is off limits, but that doesn't stop the truly curious for trespassing. Police will tell you to stay away because of the obvious danger of being struck by passing trains, but believers will tell you to stay away from the tunnel to sever the spread of the curse. But in 1868, Mother Nature, or perhaps something more sinister, Eamon, had other ideas.
I'm pretty sure I blacked out doing this bit. I don't remember any of these notes.
Well, you're about to learn now. There was a freak storm. The valley flooded. Passengers drowned.
Join me. Join me in my water.
I think Jesus was jealous of Jeff Buckley.
I don't think, like, Jesus did a lot of cool stuff, turning water into wine, many miracles.
Lilac wine.
Exercising lilac wine. But I'd say when he heard him singing Hallelujah and all that shit about fucking in the song, he was like, I've sang that at like 3 funerals. And I have to be careful about which verses I put in because it's quite a long song. Because there's all
it's
like,
weird that people want to sing at fucking funerals.
Me nanny heard me singing. She was like, in a Waterford accent, will you sing that at my funeral, bye? She didn't sound like that. That's Cork. But yeah, no, it's weird. I did it for like 3 people.
I would say that's like a wedding song.
I think you're probably right about that as well. Because it has like a morose feeling to it in a way. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's like, you know, she's now returning to Christ our Lord. Is that some sort of a sacrament, a wedding?
It's actually a Christmas tune, Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's like that usually comes up as a Christmas tune at times.
Yeah, it's there's that line in it. Remember when I moved in you, and the holy is it the holy dove? The holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. So like, people are all like, don't sing about fucking in the church. So then I had to be like, remember when I drew and drew, and we drew so many pictures. It was fucking
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, man, I don't know, but look, anyway, Jesus taking Jeff Buckley's another story for another day. But, terrible man you are, actually.
It's funny.
Evil.
Though. Jeff Buckley
Pure evil.
would sing a high pitched song about that.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
Join
me in my watery grave.
He'd be higher though.
He would be.
Yeah.
He would be. He had his voice was just insanity though. It didn't make sense. Like,
nah, because he was about 4 foot as well. That was his one.
he used to
Achilles
play
heel.
Kick Out the Jams and stuff. Did you ever hear him playing that down in Chennai and stuff?
Yeah. That was his Achilles heel. If I was to say one thing about him, about 4 foot.
Short man.
But other than that,
And occasionally there is that part in the album. Is it Lilac Point? I can't remember. It's like, I love you.
that's I'm afraid to love you. I think that's so real, is it?
So really, right? Yeah, it's kind of like a Calvin Klein ad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he had hung around a bit more, like, he would have been a win.
I
Like,
think you just need to
one album's great.
hang around with the boys a bit more.
Right, so Ilchester,
Freak Storm, severely damaged.
hill was blasted. A light peered from the darkness. Ilchester Tunnel had opened his eye. A century later, the station is gone. St. Mary's fell into disuse and was destroyed by fire in 1968, exactly 100 years after the flood that ruined the train lines. Now only the trains of what locals call Hell House remain. Staring across the river at the eye in the tunnel, while the main line still runs, the lonely whistle of passing freights can still be heard throughout the valley. It's an echo, the sound of an era past, a land fallen silent, a place that whispers of secrets, a place gone wrong, a place now haunted by Peeping Tom, the Blink Man. Ooh, so that now, Eamon, at a glance, sounds very frightening. Peeping
Spooky.
Tom.
Now there is obviously a whole thing about people saying they died trying to do this, but they're also on an active train line trying to not blink for an hour or so.
People do like dying on train lines.
I mean,
There's a couple of things that happen. Sometimes it's suicide. Sometimes it's deleting oneself. I have to remember that for YouTube.
you can't
Self-deletion.
I'd say
No.
self-deletion.
Sometimes it's scrubbing oneself from Earth. Sometimes it is
So I walked the train tracks home many times, not for any sort
you were probably hoping a train came along, were you? When you're on the rolls.
I think I'm so strong that the train would hit me and just bend around me like some sort of Superman.
happen.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Like, imagine you lived your whole life, you're really old, like you're 70, and then a car hits you and it bends around you. You didn't realize that all your life you had superhuman armor, skin.
If someone runs me over, I at least hope I go through the windshield and kill them. That's a sort of act of vengeance. That's kind of my hope, is that if I do get hit by some idiot in a car, at least I go through the front of it and fuck up their day.
Yeah.
And some, like a deer, when a deer comes out and takes you out.
Yeah, deer fuck you up, yeah.
That's such a bullshit way to die, man. Imagine that you're driving down the fucking road,
A deer jumps in front of your car
and then
that's the end
goes
of it.
in through the fucking in through the window. And,
Yeah.
like, what?
And the timing. It does.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that makes me believe in destiny. It's like your destiny is to get skewered by a
Jeff
deer.
Buckley, man.
Yeah. No, I think a worse way to die, I would say, is getting antlered by a deer in the fucking passenger window of your Ford Focus or whatever.
It's almost like at that point you're like, there was a reason that he was taken. To be fair, though.
like why do they even do that? We were saying this in work the other day. We were joking, like when you just say like, why, like when we're in these meetings about like getting a new system. And when you're trying to describe your process to the people who make the system, every now and then they're just like,
why though?
"Oh, why though? That's stupid."
Yeah.
And there's usually a sensible reason for it.
I usually have them conversations with Gordo. He's like, how do you do that? And I tell him, and he's like, why? That's like
there's a
Gordo's
way
like
easier
my
way
boss
to
in
do
a way. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because like we've started doing that with everything now. So like someone will be like, "Oh no, it's raining today." You're like, "Why though? Like why doesn't it just be sunny? Like this is stupid.
Yeah.
This is dumb."
No, it's true.
Yeah, I think
Sometimes you get that when you talk to your peers on things, like, because podcasts are quite sort of if you're doing it yourself like we are, it's a very sort of insular kind of thing where you don't really mingle or mix with anyone.
yeah,
So you don't really discuss techniques or anything with anyone because it's just something you do yourself, right?
techniques.
Then, when I chat with Gord, I'll say, then he's like, have you got this and that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no. And then he's like, this is why you should do that. And you're like, okay, Gordo, that makes sense.
He's like the trailblazer. We can learn from his learnings rather than learning from our own learnings.
He's alive anyway. So
He's
back.
Pretty cool.
He's coming back. So anyone that's asking keeps fucking asking me whether he's alive or dead or not. Yeah, he's alive.
His brother stayed in my house there last night.
Yeah.
So
Rossi's alive.
he's alive too. Rossi's been
Was he
on
telling
the
you actually you
podcast.
wanted us to listen to the podcast? Met him up in Dublin.
Met Rossi? Or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
And he was
recognize his voice
Are
from
you
the...
Rossi?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's quite funny. Yeah. It was Matty. Shows on Matty. He worked with the same place that Rossi worked with, I think. And he was talking to Rossi over like some work phone or something.
This is recently,
Yeah.
is it? In the sales?
Yeah. A couple
I
of
won't
weeks.
give the name of the place, yeah.
Couple of weeks. And he was like, are you Neil by any chance? Like from TCG? He's like, yeah. They're just talking about us and stuff. It's cool.
I am terrified of the day someone in work says it to me.
Never been like, that's the funny thing is like, you know, people don't really realize, I suppose, is like we have like you know, like 5-figure listeners, but because it's a global thing, you like
There's
the
barely
chances
any
of us
around
ever
you,
getting
yeah,
really noticed is like highly slim.
Well-
Like I wouldn't even say like
Yeah,
even
no.
at like I'd say if we went to like a podcast, like general podcast kind of thing,
It'd
I'd
be
say it'd be
rare.
fairly slim. Like
Yeah.
I think that's, I'd say the same is true for most dogs. Like for example, like most people I suppose don't know how Tim looks from Stranger Familiars. Now sometimes he does put himself out there.
True,
But
yeah.
like you probably wouldn't.
No, the only time it ever happened to me was when I did TCG
Yeah.
before I had left at this stage, but I was watching actually Anderson Silva
All right.
fighting. I can't even remember who he was fighting. So I was in late one out in Lucan with a buddy of mine, and he had said to me the next day, he's like, "Oh, my friend like asked if you were the guy from the podcast," and I was like, "How?" I was like, "How do you know?" He's like, "I just recognized the tone of your voice."
Yeah.
But like, I didn't like. I don't really talk about it anyway. When I'm out, but like your man, yeah, he was cool. Like it was just, but that's the only time I've ever
Yeah. No, I've
been
never
told that someone. Say it to Paula sometimes, like after she was on the, you know, I put up the episode we had done together. I was like, "You ready for the level of fame that you're? Are you ready for the level of fame that you're about to
I
get
said the
into?"
same to her. I was like, congratulations, you're now a legendary
You're a
broadcaster.
legendary broadcaster.
And she's
yeah.
like, I don't want to be. I'm not put out on that. I was like, oh, no, it's too late now. That shit
I think
was
she'll be quite happy when she realized how fucking
yeah.
isolated you are as a legendary broadcaster.
Yeah, absolutely. We got another bit there to take it away.
We do. We have a story. As a former Ellicott City citizen, Ellicott City citizen, I have been to the tunnel at night. I don't know why, but as a teenager, I did indeed agree to conjure the Blink Man on a drunken dare. Shouldn't be drinking as a teenager.
No, I shouldn't.
But I couldn't summon him. I could never keep myself from blinking for the full hour. But that's probably for the best. There's himself.
Not working.
I've honestly never met anyone who has ever claimed to have successfully invoked the Blink Man, but then again, according to the legend, no one who has ever successfully invoked the Blink Man has survived the encounter. This is the only paranormal case in Maryland that has allegedly fatalities attached to the urban legend, probably because those stupid enough to stand on a set of railroad tracks at night for an entire hour are likely to get crushed by an oncoming freight train.
This is very true.
You know, cautionary tales. But the deaths involved are enough to give the folklore some legitimacy. And the town's seemingly active attempt to silence the urban legend also gives the story some credibility. Besides the police and the older locals keeping the tunnel under wraps, the local authors of several folklore books and tourist literature frequently omit the story completely. Oh. Interesting. So they know they're trying to keep, it's like It the Clown.
Yeah,
they know something's happened. Even an interview with the authors of the book, Weird Maryland, substantiates the cover-up conspiracy theory. We left it out for several reasons, mostly because the whole thing of being out there on those tracks at night is just unsafe. Superstitions aside, the deliberate omissions is also the stuff of legend. It's been said that seeing is believing, and according to this legend, the only thing keeping us from seeing the Blink Man is ourselves. Check the tunnel out if you want. It's surprisingly not hard to find. So there you go.
Don't stare for an hour in that tunnel, please, folks.
Yeah.
We don't want a death on the hands of Monster Fuzz.
No, I really don't want that.
Is it just at a glance now from just hearing this story? Is it just one of them kind of ones where it's like trying to make idiots kill themselves? Is it one of them ones?
I don't think it's trying to. I think it's like it's a cool story. Like the idea is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Bloody Mary type stuff. But like if you just stare at the mirror saying Bloody Mary, like a train doesn't come out of it and flatten you.
Yeah.
So I think, it's one like I wonder as well what the what the timetable is for those trains. Like, does one come every half hour? In which case, it'd probably be impossible, because you will, when you see a train
That's what I'm wondering, like, is that where it originated from? Is it like, you know, it's like one of them things where if you know the area, you know that it's kind of almost impossible to do. Obviously, keeping your eyes open for an hour is impossible anyway,
yeah.
I think. But
I think some people can do it, but like...
Can they?
Not enough people.
There's surely a blinking championship, right?
I'm sure there is, yeah. I'm sure it's possible. You just have to get used with the uncomfort of...
I have to do my due diligence as a podcaster here, Eamon.
It's a legendary
I have to figure out.
Legendary broadcaster.
I just have to figure it out, like whether it's you know, a thing. Because if it is, then we need to figure out what the record time is. This is another great one for me, Google history. Not blinking world championship. Not blinking world record. Here we go.
I'd say the algorithm would have a field day with us.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Something insane.
What do you think?
I feel like it's 12 hours or something. What is it?
12 hours, you think?
I just went really high because of your reaction.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm surprised. An hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like,
so,
sure, your eyes start to hurt, man. Try. Let's
well,
try it now. Let's try it now.
All right, we're trying now.
Yeah, blinking.
Okay.
Abe blinking.
Hey!
Come on, no, you're cheating.
That actually makes it worse because the air gets into your sockets.
I blinked, I couldn't
still
do it.
haven't blinked. I can see him.
I
can see him, Robert.
No,
Yeah.
It's
not fun. Imagine like
he's all fucked
imagine
up.
how fucking bored you have to be to try to do that for an hour.
An average Joe, like
20 seconds.
It's just not. Yeah, I need to. Okay, right. Hang on. I'm on the clock now.
Now we're literally, the podcast has devolved into us trying not to blink.
Yeah.
Welcome to the worst.
I actually, like, that was 5 seconds.
What is this? The worst shit ever? What is this episode? Welcome to Monster Buzz, episode 200. It's important. The worst shit ever.
We're trying to figure out the fucking answers.
Okay, sorry. For a second, I just thought it was the worst shit ever.
Is it probable that people can do this? Try and do it.
I think so.
Go on, you're on the clock. 30 seconds. Go. Yeah, see. Yeah. Let's see now. Some kind of legendary.
What am I at? What is my time? It's starting to hurt now.
Yeah, you're
what
at
time is it now?
7 seconds or something.
So once your eyes are open, 7 seconds. But then you adapt.
Oh, yeah. Can you?
I'm feeling strong now.
Yeah.
And creepy.
Yeah, you do look a bit sex offendery, alright.
You're
gonna blink now if you can. Blink.
Well, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you were messing.
It's scientifically impossible to do the watery grave voice and keep your eyes open.
No, you're messing. So basically what we've concluded from our research here, our field research, is that it's impossible to do. And as a result, this episode has been debunked.
The blink man is not real.
As no more than a load of shite.
Yeah.
That people are just trying to have a laugh at you.
Instead of spending an hour trying to stare into a tunnel, spend an hour listening to Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory and decide, is it
10 out of 10?
Is it a 10 out of 10
or
album?
Jeff Buckley Grace.
That is a 10 out of 10. I would say that's a 10 out of 10. But I'd say some people probably, they want something with a bit more meat on it, you know? Don't hear Chester Bennington. Who's the better singer, Chester Bennington or Jeff Buckley? That is a legitimately good question. Chester Bennington is, whether you like, lyrics are a lot better on the Grace side.
I think Jeff Buckley's better in every single way. Pretty much. I just think.
Can he?
I think he's like legitimately, when I say one of the greatest musical what ifs, because
I think you're probably right.
Because when you listen to
he was 27 Club as well, was he?
Could have been.
Too?
Yeah, it's just like such a. He could have been even younger, man.
I'd like to hear Jeff Buckley do a cover of fucking In the End. It all fell apart.
No, seriously, man. He was like legitimately super fucking talented for first album as well. You have to remember, like, really good album. You know?
I'm literally just hearing In the End in my head now. I'm not even paying attention. It's just
that
like
big
the start.
Skywell flying around the
It starts with one thing.
Linkin Park were victims of their own brilliance because they just played them too much, and you just I got like overexposed to Linkin Park big time.
Meteora. Faint is some song.
Yeah, I was firmly off the Linkin Park train.
I think we all.
By the time In the End came out as a single, I was done with them. I was like, I'm too familiar with these guys. I'm hearing too much. Yeah,
there's definitely a bit of burned ear.
No, there was too much with them.
But Faint, I remember we listened to that in your house 3 times on repeat once.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was just very good.
I know, they are. Look,
I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. What did he say?
I don't even fucking know. I can't even remember that song.
Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good times, you know. One Step Closer, great tune.
Another fantastic singer who, by his own hand,
Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell, yeah, they were friends.
They were.
Two very good singers. Even though Chris Cornell, everyone was against her. Sorry, lads. Sorry again. Like I said, episode 400 or whatever.
Podcast.
The worst shit ever. Chris Cornell, when he first started singing, everyone thought that his voice was crap because it was like a throwback to the 70s and everyone sort of moved on from that. But again, arguably one of the best voices in rock and roll history.
Yeah, he's up there.
I think so, yeah. I think so. Who's your favourite singer ever?
You know that answer.
Blaine.
No.
He's mine. It's Robert Plant.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's Robert Plant.
But if it wasn't Robert Plant, it would be...
Can you remember Roy Harper?
No, he's not really a good singer. He's a
he
singer,
hasn't the way he's like
distinct.
a Bob Dylan, like not technically good, but it works very well for the music.
Singer. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't say this one, but Mike Patton.
Yeah,
but mine actually probably is Maynard.
Yeah,
if it's not Robert Plant.
I think that Maynard is the best singer of our generation.
Do you?
Yeah,
John thinks it's Mike Patton.
I think Mike Patton can't conjure up the same emotion from hearing to him that Maynard can, in my opinion. No, I think Mike Patton's fantastic. I love Mike Patton, and I think he does more stuff. But I think Maynard has a certain tone and a way of like. He just like I was listening to Rose from Maird and Oms on the way up, and I was this is brilliant. And it's like almost a throw. Like when you think of the best songs that Maynard's ever been involved with, that's not one of them that comes to mind. Yeah. But like some of the stuff he's done on Pussifer and like again, Mike Patton is you're really, it's just so subjective at that point because like they're all so good. Do you know, it's like the Olympics 1 year Michael win it, 1 year Maynard will win it. Like it's
they're all very good. Mike is still good. Maynard's still good.
Mike's brilliant.
They're still with us, you know.
They're still there.
They're still with us, hanging around.
Yeah.
But that's maybe part of Jeff Buckley's essence, and that's what makes him special. Perhaps is that he only did get one album out.
Yeah, I think that, and that's probably like, I would be the first to admit that's probably why Lane Staley's my favorite singer because he can't sing it anymore. Yeah. So like, I think Jeff Buckley, Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley, Chris Cornell got so much done during his life that it's like you kind of
worked against Chris Cornell. Yeah, Chris Cornell, them Timbaland collaborations can go.
I mean, they didn't age well.
No, they didn't. They weren't good at the time either. And I was like, what are you at there now, Chris? Man, now he's trying to be Justin fucking Timberlake.
I did appreciate that. Like he was, he was trying stuff. He went from like Soundgarden, did his own stuff, Audio Slave.
Man, no, Chris.
Like think about how different the band Audio Slave were with him singing instead of Zach De La Rocca, which is kind of interesting. And Audio Slave, it's certainly the first album, is fairly class.
It's a good album.
It's very good. And then sure, we went back then. Soundgarden releasing King Animal and all.
No interest in any of that now.
Yeah, I like the early Soundgarden stuff. But yeah. This is
music podcast.
We're just doing what we want, like
just doing music podcast.
Well, like if you just wanted to hear about the Peeping Man or Blink Man or Chester,
so you can just turn it off at any point. Really.
Just turn it off.
Probably shouldn't encourage them, but you can do if you want.
Just listen to it. How long do you listen to it for us to get money?
It's just too late. We've already made money.
It's too late.
Suckers.
We've already seen everything.
Suckers. Well, look, sure, we'll leave it there.
Yes.
Yep, that's about it. I don't think I have any public service announcements. And so, we'll leave it there. Emin, have you got anything you would like to say? Chris Cornell
would
or
like to say, join me in my water grave. No, I'd like to say thanks to everyone for listening. No disrespect to Jeff Buckley, who obviously drowned. We're just trying to make light of a very tragic situation. Listen to this this episode again, episode 500, the worst shit ever, or whatever number of episodes this is.
Chris Cornell or Chester Bennington?
I would say Chris Cornell. I think Chester Bennington.
Chris Cornell or Eddie Vedder?
Chris Cornell.
Oh yeah, Eddie Vedder.
Yeah,
go on now. I've been Rob.
Amen.
Master was over now.